David here, and men said Solomon could judge a kingdom with ease, yet one woman came to test more than his mind. She arrived from the south with spice, gold, hard questions, and a presence no court could ignore. The old tale is often told as a meeting of wisdom and wealth. But if you look more closely, it may also be one of history's finest lessons in attraction, timing, and elegant influence. Picture the scene. Jerusalem is full of heat, dust, incense, and rank. Cedar beams hold cool shade above the royal hall. Bronze glints in the light. Servants move in soft rhythm. Men lower their eyes when the king speaks. Then word spreads that a queen has crossed desert roads with a caravan rich enough to turn a city's head. Not a bride, not a captive, not a petitioner. A queen who chooses to arrive on her own terms. That alone matters. Desire changes when one person enters not from need, but from choice. The Queen of Sheba did not come asking for rescue. She came with gifts, questions, and a clear aim. In the ancient world, that kind of self-command was rare, and because it was rare, it was magnetic. Power often leans toward what does not bend too fast. Most likely her realm lay in Arabia or the Horn of Africa, perhaps linked to the rich trade routes of frankincense, myrrh, gold, and carved stone. The exact map is still debated, and accounts differ. But all traditions agree on one point. She was no minor figure. Her journey was long, costly, and planned with care. A woman does not move a caravan of that scale on impulse. She arrives as a signal. And here is the intriguing part most people miss. The signal was not just wealth, it was control of atmosphere. Before she said a word, her arrival told a story. Camels heavy with spice, fine cloth, rare wood, gold vessels. The smell of distant lands entering the court. Before she did, attraction is often shaped by the world that travels with a person. She understood that. She let anticipation build before presence became speech. Then came the questions. Ancient texts say she tested Solomon with hard problems. Some later tales make them riddles, some make them moral trials, some make them games of wit. The exact form shifts by source, but the core remains. She did not flatter him with silence. She engaged him. That is one of the oldest forms of seduction, and one of the most underrated, to be fully present with another mind, to make them feel seen, matched, and slightly stretched. Think about what that does in a royal court. Kings hear praise all day. Agreement becomes dull. Yet a person who can meet the mind, not just the throne, creates a different charge. The Queen of Sheba did not merely admire Solomon's fame, she made him earn his own image in front of her. But what unfolded next was truly unexpected. In testing him, she also raised her own value. Each sharp question proved that she was not there to be impressed by gold alone. There is another layer to this. She used distance well, not coldness. Distance, a measured gap that kept the exchange alive. Too much eagerness ends curiosity. Too much reserve kills warmth. The art lies in pace. She seems to have known how to move between openness and restraint. With precision, that is why the story still holds heat. It is not built on rush, it is built on tension. Notice too how the old accounts linger on Solomon's house, his table, his servants, his ascent to the temple, and the sheer order of his world. Why include so much detail? Because setting matters. The Queen of Sheba was reading more than words. She was reading systems, a ruler's taste, a ruler's rhythm, a ruler's hidden habits. Attraction grows faster when it is tied to close observation. She was not just listening to answers. She was judging the man through the room around him. In return, Solomon was reading her the same way. Her gifts were not random luxuries. They were coded signs of access, reach, and refinement. Frankincense and myrrh were not mere perfume. They were trade, ritual, value, and memory. Gold was power made visible. Fine cloth and crafted goods showed discipline in the realm behind her. When two powerful people meet, objects become speech. Each item says, "This is the world I command," yet the real secret to this mystery lies elsewhere. The Queen of Sheba seemed to understand that influence does not always come from taking the center of the room. Sometimes it comes from changing the room without seeming to touch it. By arriving prepared, by speaking with wit, by revealing wealth but not dependence, she shaped the emotional weather of the court. People likely looked at Solomon differently because she looked at him differently. That is an advanced form of attraction, to alter status through attention. There are even later traditions that say she came with sense. No court in Jerusalem had known in such volume, that her caravan changed the air before it changed the mood. Whether every detail is true matters less than what the story preserves. She knew that attention gathers around rarity, but trust gathers around composure. So she appears to have used both, splendor at the edge, steadiness at the center. There is also the matter of restraint in speech. Wise people in old courts did not answer every question at once. They let one answer open three more. That seems to have been her method too. She kept Solomon active, thinking, comparing, reaching. When someone leaves the exchange feeling that they discovered part of you, they often value it more than if you had simply handed it over. And notice how this meeting joins desire with respect, not fear, not submission. Respect is the cleaner fire. It burns longer. Perhaps that is why their encounter lasted in memory, while so many louder romances vanished. It offered the rare image of attraction that sharpened both people rather than reducing either one. There is a reason later legend kept pushing this meeting toward romance. Stories from Ethiopia, Arabia, and beyond sense what the plain text only hints at, a current passed between them that was larger than trade and policy. Whether that current became love, alliance, admiration, or something more layered is still uncertain. Historians must stay careful here, but chemistry does not need a love scene to exist. It can live in the choice to stay longer, ask one more question, send one more gift, remember one more detail. And that may be the best lesson of all. The Queen of Sheba did not enchant through display alone. She used what I would call high-form attraction, presence, timing, scarcity, intelligence, sensory memory. She made herself unforgettable, not by overexposing her value, but by revealing it in stages. A caravan first, questions next, admiration only when earned. This is how strong people create longing. Without losing dignity, there is also a lesson in how she left. The old story does not trap her in another person's court. She returns to her own land. That matters. It keeps her whole. Many tales diminish a woman once desire enters the room. This one, even in its most romantic forms, cannot quite do that. She remains a queen. Her mystery survives because her life does not collapse into his. Attraction deepens when identity stays intact. So what really enchanted Solomon? Not beauty alone, not wealth alone, not fame alone. It was the rare union of grace and strength, curiosity and restraint, luxury and self-command. She brought gifts, yes, but she also brought a challenge. And a challenge, when wrapped in elegance, can be more compelling than praise. If you carry anything from this story, let it be this. The strongest attraction is often the least desperate. It enters with calm. It notices. It asks. It gives just enough. It leaves a trace in the mind and lets the mind do the rest. That is what the Queen of Sheba seems to have mastered long before the modern world put names to any of it. And maybe that is why the meeting still lingers after so many centuries. Two rulers sat in one room, but beneath the gold and incense, something more subtle was being weighed. Not just wisdom, not just status, the force of presence itself. If this story stayed with you, leave your thought below and tell me what struck you most. You can like, subscribe, and come with me into the next tale as well. The past rarely tells us everything at once, and that may be why it still knows so much about the heart.